Hi there, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Juliet from SENAME and I help entrepreneurs increase their credibility, impact, and income using their personal brand. In this video, I am going to walk you through how I do my hashtag research. Well, I am launching my agency brand on social media. Currently, I don't really have a social media presence on that. Most of my agency work or done for you services have come through word of mouth or through my other, through SENAME branding Instagram as well. But I wanted, my goal for 2020 is to get at least 10 ongoing clients for the Done For You agency. And so I thought, I can actually attract new clients. Now, this is a perfect opportunity for me to kind of teach you my process in doing the exact same things that I will be teaching you or that I teach my other clients and my students. So looking forward to this video. If this is something that you want to know more about how to do hashtag research to attract your dream clients, then stay tuned and let's get started. All right, now before you actually get this work done, you need to have done some foundation work. If you haven't done the ideal client work before, I have a video that I am going to link in the description below, as well as probably in the icon. I'm not sure where that's going to be, but I'm going to link it somewhere so that you can actually access it. So before you do this, you actually need to be very, very, very clear on your ideal client. I cannot stress this enough, and I will keep repeating it because it bears repeating. I see a lot of clients who are not clear on what, who their customers are, who their audience is, and who they want to serve. So if you're not clear on that, it's really hard to create content for them, and it's hard to actually attract them. So very, very briefly, I'm going to show you basically my brain dump, how I do that. If you want this template, let me know, comment in below. Let me know if you want the template and I can shoot that over to you guys. So let's get started. This is a template that it's more of a brain dump, but it's also basically how I get my hashtag research done. Now I am going to skip that. Let's go over here. I'm going to skip that, and basically this is the template. So it talks about my superpower, and this is basically everything that I know how to do or enjoy doing or I'm really great at. So I've listed all of them here. And then this is very generic. Usually you would have to be very specific. Here I'm talking about who I'm trying to attract with my agency. Well, in SENAME branding, I usually focus on the DIY services, and I attract people who want to do it themselves. They're just starting up. They're in the side hustle stage of their life. And maybe some people who have they're still side hustling, but they're looking to transition, but they haven't transitioned fully into full-time. Whereas my agency work, I usually work with people who have fully transitioned and they're looking to level up. So they're two different audiences, and therefore I need to speak to them in completely two different ways, right? So this is the work that I've done in terms of who they are. So this is basically me solidifying who I actually want to work with, right? So based on what I've decided on who I want to work with, I go into their psychographics. So the psychographics, again, is basically soft things that I know about them, getting into their mindset, getting into their mind to understand who they are, what their pain points are, what their fears and challenges are. And then I can fill in the gap between where they currently are and where they want to be. So in this case, my audience for the marketing agency, they already have a business, probably 5 years or more. They have a small team of maybe 2 to 5 people. They understand that they need marketing, they need social media, that they need all of these things, but they just don't know how to go about it, right? So this is not me trying to educate them that they need this stuff. They already know that they need it. They just don't know how to go about it. So they're coming to me for me to take it off their hands, for my team to take it off their hands. Again, this is not necessarily for me to convince them that they need this information, but I want to share my knowledge and my expertise and my work so that they are very clear that I know what I'm doing, and I'm an expert in my field. right, in what I am telling them to do. So it's not necessarily copy where I'm going to convince them, you need this, come to me. But it's like, hey, I understand that you need it. I need you to understand that, I know what I'm doing, type of thing. So that's basically where that gap is going to be. Where they are right now and where they need to be, I need to fill in that gap and bridge that gap so that I can transform them from their A to their B. All right, so with all of this work done, again, if you want this template where you can kind of do this brain dump, let me know in the comments below and I will shoot that over to you guys as well. So once all of this is done, I know exactly what type of content I'm going to be sharing. Now, knowing the type of content that I'm going to be sharing, that definitely now helps me in terms of the hashtag research that I want to, that I'm going to need. All right, so let's get into Instagram. I use Instagram on my desktop for this. It makes life a whole lot easier. So to get started, I usually will take somebody that is in my niche, somebody who is who's sharing the similar content as I am, and I'll start with them, and they're already a little established. I'll start with them and see what kind of hashtags that they're using. So for example, let's go to a very clean template. This is a brand new account, so I'll show you my actual account here. Brand new account. I already uploaded only 6, but I'll be uploading more. I've already also determined on my page, if you didn't watch the video from last time where I'm talking about social media for small businesses, I talk about your bio is really important. It's where your keywords, where how you want to be found need to be. So if you want, you can go over to SENAME Interactive, this page, and you can take a look at how I've structured my bio. I call it the power bio. Right. So I've gone ahead and I've also followed people in my industry. So that's basically when I scroll through my feed, these are the people that I'm going to see in my field. This also kind of tells Instagram that this is the niche that I belong to, right? So I'm currently not following potential clients, which is something that you will do eventually. But right now, at the start of this, I'm currently only following people who are in the same niche as me and who are a little more established in the industry. All right. So with that said, when we get started on the hashtag research, I look at what people in my industry are already doing and then look at the types of content. So just because we are in the same industry doesn't mean that we'll be sharing exactly the same content. So I'll look at people and see the types of content that I will be sharing, and then look at what hashtags they use on that similar content. Right now, because I'm also just starting out this page, I have to be careful as to the type of hashtags that I am going to go after. Now, because I'm literally only 40, you just saw that I only have 40 followers, I'm in the 1K range, right? That means I should be going after hashtags that are between 5K and 10K. I have been able to rank for hashtags that are 10K, between 10 and 50K on a small account before. So I can go there, and then very, very minimally, like I know I'm going to absolutely be drowned if I try to go for hashtags within 50K, right? I've already done a little bit of this work, and the type of hashtags that my industry does use seem to fall within this, but I can't get in here until I'm actually around 5K. So we'll go into that, and this is basically what we're looking at. Now, what we do once we have all our hashtags, we have to create hashtag groups and kind of mix match the hashtags. So basically, we're looking at, 5 of this range, 5 of this range. Now, because I am still brand new over here, I'll probably do something like 10, 10, 5, or 10, 15, 5, something like that, and just kind of stay within this range up here, within these 3 ranges up here. Now, when you're also looking at your hashtags, you want to try different hashtags, right? So I have here the hashtag, business specific hashtags, industry specific hashtag, audience specific hashtag, post, location, as well as category and products. Now, category and products, I usually reserve them for e-commerce type products or e-commerce pages. All right, so I've already started the work with SENAME Interactive, and I'll show you that particular tab as well. So I will also go in and I'm not completely done. This took me quite a while because I had to do some extensive research. Now you'll notice that at the top here, the ranges are different than over here. That's because I thought that there was too big a gap between 10 and 50. So what I did is I broke it down to 10 to 25 and then 25 to 50. So technically I still want a lot more hashtags in this range, but I wanted to break them out a little more so I can see what I was working with. And like I said, a lot of the people in my industry are in this hashtag range. I didn't bother filling out anything after 10K because that's just way too competitive and I'm just wasting space and time. So as I grow, I will grow into that those hashtag ranges. All right. So to get started, like I said, you pick somebody who's already in your niche, who's really established or well established. Now, if they're super established, then the hashtags that they're using is probably going to be above your range. But we are going to still start with the hashtags on that level first, so that we can see some of the related hashtags that maybe we can use. This will make sense in a bit, I promise. I am actually going to show you guys on my computer how I do it. Okay. So for example, I love Chris Doe's work. I love he has two brands. He has his personal brand, the Chris Doe, and then he has the feature. So because he does have some content, not all of his content is something that I would share. He does have some content that I would share with my audience as well. So let's get started with the Chris Doe. There he is. All right, so perfect. So I can look at some of the content that he shares, right? So the perfect sales call. No, I'm not going to be teaching my clients sales calls or anything like that. How to lose clients. Let's see, clients from hell. All right. So I know with this particular page, he is teaching content creators. So I'm his audience, or creatives. I'm his audience, but not everything here would be for my audience. So let's take a look. All right, let's take a look at the feature instead, his other account. The feature is here. Okay, perfect. So here's something that I would definitely share onto my page, right? So what is branding 4-minute crush course? So I can take a look at that. Let's see what else he has. How to find and do work that you love. That is definitely something I could share with my audience. Success leaves clues. That's also something that I would share. Exactly how to assemble your tribe. This is also something that I would share with my audience. How to build an audience, not customers. Again, something I would share with my clients. So it looks like the feature has more content that I would share with my client versus his other account. All right, so let's get started. I would click on this and you see all the hashtag that he uses. Some of these things you also want to, again, success does leave clues. So look at how they're doing it. He uses his hashtags as the first comment. Now, I'm not sure if he does that for everything. Yeah, it seems to be his strategy is using his hashtags in the comment section versus in the caption section. I'm not necessarily sure if that makes a difference because, he just may want to keep his hashtags clean or his captions clean, and that's also fine. So let's take a look at this. Now I'm going to hold down the command key on my computer and then basically click on all of these hashtags. If you're on a PC, you would be hitting your control button. So I'm going to open all of these in new tabs, right? So let's quickly go through all of these. And I've already kind of done the work. Now I'm not clicking on all of them. I'm only clicking on the ones that I would like to use as well, right? So let's take a look, right? So you get the gist, right? You get the drift. So let's let's use this one. Let's see. Again, he might have used them in the comment section, so they're hidden. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to just keep with what we've opened up here. Now, once we open this, we are at 36 million for just marketing. So this is well above my range, and it's not something that I'll be using. However, Instagram does give you related hashtags, so you can look at these other hashtags as well and then do the same thing. So you're literally going to open all of these in new windows and see if there's something that you can work with, right? Just keep in mind, because a lot of them are repetitive. All right, so this is also too big. And at this point, what I'll start doing is just start closing them, right? So this one says agency life. I didn't open that one. Facebook marketing, I didn't open that one. Digital agency, social media tips, social media manager. Now, I'm not necessarily a social media manager, but let's just open it up and see what's happening. All right, so 1 million is still out of my range, so I'm going to close that. Facebook marketing, a little out of my range. Yeah, it's definitely third tier, out of my range right now. Also out of my range. Right, so you just basically keep doing this. Keep doing this until you find something that is within your range. Right, so again, this is why it took me a while. You have to do the work. You really have to do the work. Let's see. And so you just keep going through this, and also keep, let's say, marketing agency. And as you go down these links, all right, the future. Well, I'm not gonna rank for this, but maybe branding inspiration. Let's see, website agency. So remember how I talked about you need business specific, industry specific, and all that stuff. So think about those hashtags. And so as you go through them, if nothing is really sparking anything for you, we just move over to the next one. Sales strategy is within our range of 35. So it is going to be in this range here, 35. So as you can see, I have already done the work. Sales strategy should be somewhere here. Here it is. Sales strategy is here. So again, just have to go through this, do the work. So one thing that I haven't done is what I like to call interruption marketing. Now, a lot of people are on their social media and they're just scrolling, right? So let's say, for example, one of the, again, author, speakers, and coaches, but they fall into specific categories, right? So let's say somebody who is yoga fertility practitioner, right? For the sake of argument, fertility yoga practitioner. So she is going to follow a lot of yoga and fertility type of hashtags. So I want to interrupt her flow of scrolling with my content. But I can't use hashtag yoga fertility because my content is not relevant to yoga fertility, right? So I need to, again, this is why you need to be very, very clear on your audience and what they like to do. I need to start thinking about other things that they will also start following. So just because they're into yoga doesn't mean that I need to put in hashtag yoga because my account is not hashtag yoga. However, I can put in, abundance lifestyle. But if I do yoga, if I put in a business tip, but my hashtag says Motivation Wednesday, that kind of is related and it's like more relevant than me tagging Yoga Goddess. So because I know that they will be following something like Motivational Tuesday or Motivational Wednesday or whatever it is, I can break their flow because they're used to seeing all these yoga poses, and then of course their feed shows up and it's showing them a business tip. that is still relevant to them. Hopefully that makes sense. All right. If it didn't make sense and you have any questions at all about what I have said, please, please, please put the comments below and let me know, and I will be happy to answer them for you. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've looked at all of those other hashtags that I know that my specific audiences will be using to identify themselves or to in their posts. So like I said before, for a real estate agent, a spiritual coach, a speaker, most of them are in the business of manifestation, motivation, that kind of stuff. So if I use those hashtags, I am more likely to attract them or interrupt their feed, right? So this is my group. I'm good. I'm happy with it. So what I would then do is, again, post it in, you can either use Google Drive or Evernote. So what I would do, as you can see, I have one specifically for SENAME branding, keywords and hashtags. So I would create a new one. All right. So I'm done. In my Evernote, I have everything in here. And so when I'm using Evernote on my phone or when I'm posting on my phone, I have everything in here. Now, another thing that I can do is put all these keywords in my in my social media planner, but that's another video that I will show you later. All right, so that is the end of this video. I really hope that you found it insightful, helpful, educational. If you have any questions, please leave comments below and I'll be sure to answer them. Again, if you do not want to miss any videos that I post out about the type of stuff that I'm doing, documenting my journey with my different clients, as well as for growing my own business, please subscribe, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification button so that you do not miss any content that I share. In another video, in the upcoming video, I'm going to show you now how I actually plan out what my feed is going to look like. You guys are going to be very excited about that. I use Canva and I just plan out what my feed is going to look like in terms of like the feel of the field, so that I know how I'm going to plan out. And then I actually going to show you how I create the different types of posts in Canva. So again, if you don't want to miss those videos, like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification button so that you don't miss anything. And I will talk to you guys later. All right, take care and be blessed.